Hello guys and welcome back. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draft a shoulder dart bustier top and how to pad it. Please keep on watching and let's get into the video. I know you told your friend you're... So welcome back. So I've gone ahead to place my pattern paper. As you can see, I'm just trying to hold it down in place. And I've gone ahead to draw a line for my shoulder, and I'll be taking my horizontal measurement from that line. So I just came down by half an inch from my pattern paper. So I'm marking my bust point 10 inches, under bust 13, and my the length of this dress, which is 16 inches. So I will repeat the same thing in order for me to have a straight line. And then after doing that, we'll come to our shoulder line, and on this shoulder line I'll take my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7 inches, and I'll add half-inch seam allowance for joining because I'll be joining a sleeve to the shoulder. So the half inches for joining, and I went ahead to take 3.5 inches for my neck width, and I'll take 3 inches for my neck depth. So this neckline depends on what you want. You can make yours deeper or higher. It is not a standard measurement. So I'll just go ahead and create my neck line. You can do this with your free hand, guys. So after doing that, this part, will leave that shoulder part for now, and we'll come to this part. So here I will impute my shoulder measurement, my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 3.5 inches, but I'll be adding half-inch seam allowance on my pattern paper. You can add it on your fabric when cutting, but I choose to add it on my pattern paper, so that made it 4 inches. I hope you understand, guys. So I'll connect the lines together. So guys, after I was done drawing the line, I'll just go ahead and label this. I should have done that earlier. This is the shoulder line, the bust line, the under bust, and the waist. So guys, after drawing the line, next thing I'll do is, from the line I just drew, I'll be taking 1.5 inches towards my right and half inches towards my left hand side. So this is not a standard measurement, guys. It depends on the person's bust size. If the person is bust size 32 to 35, you can use 1.5 inches. If the person is 36 all the way to 40, you can use 2 inches, and if the person is 43 upward, you can use 2.5 inches. So I hope you understand that. So you can see I've taken my 1.5 inches on my under bust and waist, and half inches on the other side. So I just went ahead to connect the lines together. So on my bust points, I will come down by 1 inch. This is to avoid gaping there, so we won't be having that puffy or pointed look there. So I came down by 1 inch, and I just went ahead to connect it like this using my free hand. You can do this with your curve rule, and this is what it looks like. So on my shoulder line now, I'll measure what I have here and divide it by 2. So I have 4. So 4 divided by 2 is 2 inches, and I'll just go ahead and connect it to my bust points. But before I connect it, I'll be going up on my bust points by 1 inches. This is also to avoid sharpness, that is that pointiness when you wear your top, that pointiness in the bust area. So this is what we have after I was done connecting it, guys. So what I'll do now is to take my shoulder dart. So I'm going to take half inch and then I'll take 1 inch. So I'll take ½ inch towards my left and 1 inch towards my right. I hope you understand. So this is the ½ inch. So I'll connect it to this 1 point. So this is the ½ inch, you can see. So this is the ½ inch I took, guys. So, and this is the 1 inch. So this is what I mean by towards my right and towards my left. So this is what we have. And now what we'll do now is to replace our shoulder. So you remember we took the dart. So the dart we took is 1.5 inch, right? Because we took 1 inch and ½ inch. So when you add it is 1.5 inch. So we'll go ahead and replace this 1.5 inch. And then after replacing it, you know, when we cut this out and we want to join it, we'll use ½ inches to join it. So that will be 1 inches. So I'll just go ahead and put my 1 inches. So, and from there I'll come down by 1 inch and I'll connect it to my neck width like this. So I took my slope from there. Guys, I hope you understand this part. I hope I'm not too fast, and I hope I'm explaining it in a way you understand. So from here now, guys, we'll take our armhole line measurements, and the formula for finding your armhole measurement is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So in this case it's 8 inches, and I'll just go ahead and connect it like this, and this will be our chest line. So you just go ahead and connect it the way I am doing mine. So measure what you have here. So you can see I have 8 inches, and the middle of inches is 4, and I went in by ½ inch, and I'll just go ahead and put my bust measurement on that armhole line, which is also the chest line. So you put your bust measurement, and I'll just go ahead and connect these points together. And this is what it looks like. So basically we are done drafting this. So the next thing we'll do now is to input our body measurement. So I will not be putting my bust measurement on my bust line again, because I've done that on my chest line. So I'll just go to my under bust, and I'll just divide my under bust by 4, and I'm just using my tape to do that. So just go ahead and place it there. And then you measure what you have here, making 2 inches. So I went ahead to replace that, and I will repeat the same thing for the waistline. Measure your waist measurement, divide it by 4, then you replace your dart as well. So I'm just using my tape to measure her measure the waist measurement. So place it, and I've replaced the 2 inches. So I'll just connect my dots together like this. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and add seam allowance. So I added 2 inches seam allowance for this particular top, and I'll just go ahead and connect it together. So we'll just go ahead and cut this out. So this is how to draft a shoulder dart bustier. So I'll just go up by ½ inches on my shoulder line. This is for my stitching allowance. So I added all my stitching allowance on my pattern paper. You can choose to add yours while cutting on your fabric or when cutting on your fabric. So I took half inch and I just extended the line like this, and on my the length of my top, I'll also go ahead and take half inches as well. And I'll go ahead and cut it out. So just watch how I cut it out, guys. So you cut the shoulder, this allowance you added, that's where you cut it from. Cut our neckline, and then I'll go ahead and cut the cups. So just watch how I'll cut this first one, and I'll go ahead and trim the remaining darts as well. And this is what we have. So now we'll just go ahead and draft our back pattern. So for the back pattern, you can see that I've gone ahead to do what I had on my front pattern. The only difference is this zipper allowance. So I'll be taking all our measurements from that zipper allowance. So the first thing I'll do is take my neck width, which is 3.5 inches. You know, the neck width for the front and that of the back is supposed to be the same thing. So I'll take 3.5 inches, and I also took my shoulder measurement, 7.5 inches, 5 inches for stitching allowance. So now I want to draw my neckline. So for this top, I want the neckline to be deep. So I took 8 inches for my neckline. I want the neckline for the back to be a deep back, and I'll just connect it like this. Now go ahead and create my neckline. So on my shoulder line, I'll come down by 1 inches as usual, and I'll just connect it to my neck width. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and put my armhole 8 inches, and I'll just go ahead and create it, mark it, and I'll go ahead and connect the line together as well. So now I'll go ahead and input my nipple to nipple measurements. So I'll just put it all the way down, and I'll go ahead and connect it. Now I'll come up by 1 inch, and I'll extend the line. This is for my darts, and you can even go higher than this, but I just want it like this. So I'll take half inches on both sides. This is just our regular darts that we normally take. So I'll connect it. So that is it for the back pattern. I'll create an armhole by dividing it by 2, and then I'll just put my bust measurements and connect it. For the back armhole, guys, you do not come in by half inches. You do not come in by half inches for your back bodies. So I'll just go ahead and connect the dots together, and this is what we have. So I'll go ahead now and impute my body measurement. So I've done my bust measurement is already on my chest line, so I will not be putting it there again. So I just came on my under bust and I took my bust measurement, and I'll measure what I have here and I'll replace it. And I came to my waist, impute my waist measurement, measure what I have here, which is 1 inches, and I replace it as well. And I'll just go ahead and connect the dots together, ignoring my under bust line. So this is what we have, and I'll just go ahead and impute my 2 inches seam allowance. So guys, this is what our back pattern looks like. Super easy, right? Yeah, the back body is usually like this. So I'll just go ahead and extend my shoulder by 1/2 inch for my shoulder allowance, and after doing that, I'll just connect it in my ruler. And then you extend the line, you also extend this line as well. So, and I'll take 1/2 inches below my dress. And this is what we have. So before cutting this out, to get rid of bulginess at the back of our top, I'll just go ahead and extend this line that I took, and from there I just came in by 1 inch, and I'll just connect it like so. So just connect it like this. There are different ways you can get rid of bulginess of the zip at the back of your top. So this is the method I just used. So I'll go ahead and cut it out now. Then go ahead and cut out the neckline as well. And I'll just label this the neckline, and this part the armhole line, so that I won't mix it up because they are the same point. So this is what we have, and for our dart, I'll just notch it on our fabric. I won't be cutting this out. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut it out on my fabric, and as you can see, I did not add stitching allowance. This is because I added it on our pattern paper. So I hope you understand, guys. So this is what we have, and for this back pattern, this dart, the place where I took my dart, let me just trim off this excess lining. So this dart, I'll just go ahead and notch it, both the lining and the fabric. So this will just make it easier for me to know where my dart is, and I'll keep that aside while we work on the front piece. So I'll just go ahead and remove my pins. So after doing that, the next thing you do is on that bust line there, you will make a notch there. This notch will help you to know how to where the bust point is when you are trying to sew it. You see, without our pattern paper, you won't know where the bust line is. So that's why we usually make notches there. I hope you understand. So I'll go ahead and notch this one as well. I'll just arrange it because I've removed the pins already. So I'll just arrange it and I'll notch it on this side, the bust line as well. I'll just go ahead and notch it down. This is what we have. I have gone ahead to remove the pattern papers, and this is what we have. So I'm just trying to differentiate the rough side of my fabric from the right side before I start stitching on it. So this is what we have. So the next thing I'll be doing is to bring our padded. This is a padded wording. So this is the one I'll be making use of. It has a side that is gummy. I've done this several in my video. It has a side that is gummy, that is sticky. So what I'll do is to arrange my fabric like so. And when arranging your fabric, your armhole line do not need this wording. So just watch how I am arranging it. I guess you understand more when you see it. I really don't know how to explain this part. So you can see how I am arranging it. The part where I notched is actually facing each other. And this is the other side. So just go ahead and place it like so. And next thing I'll do now is I'll come down by 1 inch. So I came down by 1 inch from my neckline because I don't want the wording to get to the neck, else it will affect it when we are trying to stitch it. So I came down by 1 inch, and so I'll go ahead and cut that out I'll go ahead and cut it out from that 1 inch mark. So I'm trimming it off from the 1 inch, and I'll do the same thing for the front piece, the center front as well. So I'll trim it out from the 1 inch. I hope you can see the line, guys. And then after you've done that, the next thing you do is to notch the padded also, that is the wording. You notch it also, as you can see. So what I'll do now is to use these pieces to cut for the other side. So I'll first of all notch it as well, and then I'll remove it and use it to cut on the other side. So I place the side that is sticky facing each other. So let me just call it the right side. So I place the right side facing each other, and I'll just trim it out. So if you notice, I just cut it, that I did not trim it out. So I'll place it on this one like so. So I'll place it on this one before trimming it out. I do not want to trim it out and then at the end it will not be the same thing or something like that. So just place it like this, then you trim it out. And please, when cutting it, you can see where the wording ended. It ended at the under bust. I hope you can see that. So that's where yours too should end. So I'll just go ahead and notch it as well. And this is what we have. So I'll just go ahead and reduce this top part, and this is what we have, guys. So you can see what it looks like. You can reduce it more if you wish. So what I'll do now is to iron it out. So just place it like this and iron it, and it will just stick to your fabric. So I repeated the same thing for all the pieces, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'll do is to join it like this, and I'll just pin it down. So just join it and pin it down. Pinning this down will make it easier for us to sew when we are trying to stitch it on our machine. So just keep on pinning it down. So this is what it looks like. and I would repeat the same thing for the other side as well. So you place the notch side facing each other. When you are placing it, please you place the notch side facing each other. So I'm just trimming out the excess wording. So you place it like this, notch side, you can see. So after placing it, you just hold it down with your pin and you pin it down. So guys, if you are a beginner, honestly this part will not, it won't be that easy if you're a beginner, but with time you will get used to it and you will get it right. So just pin it down. Stitching this can be really tricky. So you can see that it is equal. I don't know if you can see it. So you can see that it is equal. That was because I placed the notch side together, and I'll just run a stitch straight like that. You can see what we have. So I'll just go ahead and stitch this like so, and I've done stitching it. I'm done. This is what it looks like, guys. So you can see our cup or bust, should I say bust, you can see that it has already formed. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make notches around this stitch. I'll make notch at the under bust, and I'll just make random notches. So I'll just use this my ball and I'll place it like so, and I'll go ahead and iron this down. So you just iron your seams flat. So just take your time. I just did this ironing for the purpose of the video. When I'm done with this, I'll make sure I give it a good press. This will make the seam very flat. It will make it look neat. And you turn it over and still iron the other side as well. And this is what we have. You can see how one side is already looking like. This is what we have. So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. So guys, this is what our top looks like. This is, I'll be attaching this to my pencil skirt. So guys, please, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to subscribe to my channel till I see you in my next video. Bye.